Tonight we want to welcome Commissioner Henry Mitchell, and we want to also thank City TV for being part of this event tonight. COP, Community of Peace. Kelly Hunter and her staff is here tonight. Commissioner Mitchell, we thank you for being here tonight. Tonight is all about Community of Peace, COP, bridging the gap between police department, police officials, and our students. Commissioner Mitchell, I know you work very hard, and you also have a back-to-school event every year, but correct. This year you're partnering with us.
That is correct.
And I want to thank you for putting back your program to partner with us. But tonight, explain to us how the Board of Commission, how your commission seat ties into the community and what it does to help us bridge the gap between law enforcement and student.
Well, it's extremely important. And let me say, first of all, thank you to you guys, City TV, and you, Pastor John, for actually calling and wanting to be a great part of success. And that success is teaming up with the City of Police, the Sheriff Miller and his team, and now the Board of Commissioners, where we can kind of bring all these school supplies in one location, as we normally always do, and actually hand these out to the kids, and making the kids feel warm and fuzzy about our police force. Because one thing about kids, they always think that the police department is against us, as opposed to being a part of us. So I think it's a wonderful idea, and my normal back-to-school festival is normally held that Saturday before they go back to school, but I feel it was more important to be a part of a team effort with the City of Police, with the Sheriff Department, and now the Board of Commissioners. And so that's why I highly support this, and I think this is a worthwhile cause, and continue to do this and be successful at it.
Well, the question I have for you is, how do you feel in your role as commissioner that you can help with law enforcement to bridge that relationship to make it a little bit more easier for the student and law enforcement to work together?
Right. Well, I think my role is that if I make sure I set great policies and set great procedures in place so the sheriff can have those extended arms out and reach out to that community to be a great part of that community. So I think that's where I play a crucial role in making sure that we can extend our arms from the Board of Commissioners, extend from the Board of Commissioners to the Sheriff Department, from the Sheriff Department to the community, and embrace everybody. And I think once we embrace and have that embrace and that come together moment, I think at the end of the day, the kids will find that we are for being safe, have a safe place to be and have fun. And at the same time, we got protection that makes sure our kids are safe, and there's no unique things going on from pedophiles, whomever else, that our kids are safe and our parents will feel safe that that's what's going on. So I think that's a great thing.
Well, you know, and Pastor John and Commissioner, when you pull together a community event like this and you have the opportunity to have your face in the community and making that joint venture, it kind of eases. You know, we're looking at a brand new high school here. It has uncharted territory, so to speak. Great staff on board, and so now you're pulling the community in through the law enforcement. Pastor John, you're taking the role as the campus pastor here, so you got a lot of good things happening and already being established right from the beginning for this new facility.
So if we do all those things you just mentioned and keep it, you know, under one roof and making sure the kids feel good about what they're doing and why they're here, not only just to get a great education, but to be safe and make sure that they're protected, I think at the end of the day, they're going to love being a part of this new campus. And the campus, by the way, looks really good, though.
It's awesome.
It's awesome.
Awesome.
So to Ms. Kraft and her team, I think it's going to be really nice to be a part of this, and I'm glad that we could hold off on our back to school festival, combine it with this back to school festival, and celebrate and give back to our community.
Right. Well, Commissioner, we want to thank you for being with us and supporting us and being a part of all we do.
Thank you, and I appreciate you guys, and continue the work that City TV is doing from the City of Douglasville, and Pastor John on what you're doing here in the community and at these schools, that you're doing a wonderful job. So keep up the great work.
Thank you. One of the things that's made this event so successful, COP, Community of Peace, is partnering with Chief Chris Womack and Sheriff Phil Miller. Without these two gentlemen standing by my side, this event would not be possible here at New Manchester High School. The event tonight is all about giving free school supplies to every family who needs it, and partnering with local law enforcement and the Sheriff Department to make sure every student realizes that these two guys are not their enemy. They are our friends. I want to thank you, Sheriff Miller, and thank you, Chief Womack.
Thank you for including us, John. Appreciate being here with you.
Your level of law enforcement from a city standpoint have increased since you've been chief. I've watched it. From a citizen standpoint, from being in the community, you have taken the whole police department to a new level with your new facilities, your new cars, your new staff personnel. I just want to thank you. And Sheriff Miller, watching you over the past 8 years lead us in the county area of law enforcement. But you two guys working together have done a great job. But Chief, I'm going to ask you, what do you feel you can do as Chief of Police to build a relationship between law enforcement from a city standpoint and students?
Okay, well, I think at first it's just a philosophy I think that I teach when I hire even new guys that come in. I met with 7 new officers earlier today that came into my office, and we were sitting in our meeting room, and I told them, I said, hey, we're all in the same boat here. I'm no more important than you are. We just have different jobs we have to do. I handle the political side of police work, trying to get you what you need to do your job, and I'm going to hold you accountable and expect you to perform at a certain level if you want to stay working with us. And we tell these guys when we bring them in, I want you treating every citizen you come in contact with just like it's your mama, just like it's your daddy, just like it's your grandmother. Be as good to people as they'll let you be to them, as long as they'll let you be good to them. Now, sometimes we run with folks that being good don't work, and we have to take a different road with it.
Exactly.
But we're going to try to be as good to everybody as we can. And that's what I've enjoyed, partnering up with the sheriff on all these things that we go out in the community and do. We stand shoulder to shoulder. He's the county sheriff, I'm the police chief, but we're in the same boat too. And we're out here doing this. We all trying to get to the other side of the river. So we got to row at the same time so that we can get over there. So it's all about just being fair with people, being consistent with people, and letting a lot of times know what your expectations are. And and it's working for us at the City Police Department right now.
Well, I'll tell you what's working is your involvement in tonight's program. I mean, it's not very often you have a chief of police that goes into his pocket, find resources to help give back. And that's what I want people to understand, that Chris Womack is not just a person that's the chief of police, but he's born and bred a product of Douglas County, so he has an investment in this community. So I know you feel very personal with this Community of Peace program. How do you and Sheriff Miller work together in different programs? Tell me a little bit about that.
We've got a couple of different programs going. I'm going to talk about one of them being the Fine Unit, is where you see these black patrol cars that say sheriff and police on them. Well, we're out there on I-20 actively every day, and we're trying to slow down this pipeline of money and drugs that's coming through, that's filtering out back into our community.
Yes, you're right.
That's having such a negative impact on all of our families. And we also have, under the sheriff's direction, we have a program where our detectives come together and form the Major Case Squad. And I'm going to let the sheriff talk a little bit more about that, because he's a little closer hands on that than I am.
Well, the Major Case Squad, and thanks, Chief, the Major Case Squad is made up of Douglasville Police Department officers and Douglas County Sheriff's Department officers, and it's a detective unit that works all the major cases in Douglas County and in the city of Douglasville. And working together allows us to share information with each other, and there's some conformity with all the cases that go to the district attorney's office. They're all worked in a similar manner, and those officers are just extremely diligent and the most professional that I believe you've ever seen anywhere, and they do such a great job. And working together saves this community money, and it's good for this community. It makes Douglas County and the city of Douglasville a safer place.
Well, again, tonight program COP, the Community of Peace, and that's why we chose that title, that acronym COP, because we want this new school to also realize that law enforcement is their friend. Because without law enforcement, we don't have that safety net to fall back on, that safety and protection that we require as a community. So kind of expand on what other programs you have from a city perspective that allows your department to work directly with the community that may lead into the Sheriff Department.
Yeah, one thing that we're really involved in, another team effort, is the Youth Against Violence. And I'm not going to go into a lot of details, because in a minute you're going to have my partner on here, Gary Sparks, my deputy chief, going into a little more detail about it. But, this year together, the sheriff and I, we've hit already into going in from last school year, we've already went out. We go out to the high schools and we shoot straight with these kids. We tell them, hey, we're here for you. We want to be here before you get into trouble. We want to provide information to you so that you know what the laws are. And a lot of these young folks don't understand how particularly the sex laws can affect them, and how that can get them into trouble real quick in a hurry. And it's nothing that me, the sheriff, or their mama or dad, anybody can clean up sometimes once they cross some of those lines. So we want them to be informed so that they're hanging out with the right people and making good decisions. And you know, we've been down to Alexander High School. We've been down to Chapel Hill High School. We've been to D.C. And I tell you what, I was so impressed. And I remember particularly at Douglas County High School, which is my old stomping grounds.
Mine too.
And
believe it or not,
we had every kid in the school in there. And Dr. Pritz got out there and he led it, because I was a little nervous. The other schools, we'd split it up and we'd had like two, either the freshmen and sophomore together, you know, half the school at one time. At D.C., we had every kid in the school in there.
That was
eyes
a big
on us.
crowd.
It was a huge crowd. Dr. Pritz stepped out to the middle of the floor and he said, young people, you know what I expect, and I better get it. For 50 minutes, you could have heard a pin drop. There were several guest speakers. We got up there, took turns. We've been working a lot with Monique Rivard, who was in that tragic situation of losing her son, Bobby Tillman, and the sheriff and I have both teamed up with her, and she's just been such an inspiration for me personally, how she has taken such a tragic event and tried to make it as possibly a positive as possibly best she can in her family's situation of the death of Bobby. That was just senseless.
And that was a tough situation to have to swallow. But again, that's why we want to make, and I keep saying it, COP, because we want to make sure that this school, New Manchester High School, don't have the repercussions of what took place between Chapel Hill and Douglas County High School, because the event happened that it affected the whole community. But I want to thank both of you for stepping up to the plate, being the type of law enforcement leaders that you are, both from a county standpoint, from a city standpoint, to partner with FCA and other student ministries throughout the school system to make sure that we know we have people behind us supporting our programs. So I just want to say thank to both of you for sponsoring tonight's program, because without these two gentlemen, tonight's program would not be possible. I went to them personally and I said, look, I want to find a way to give back. Can you help me? And Chief Womack, without reservation, you said, what can I do? Sheriff Miller, again, you said, without reservation, what can I do? And when you have men in law enforcement that wants to step up to give back, it makes my job as a pastor a lot easier to serve the community. So thank both of you for your involvement.
Can I just say one thing?
Yes, sir.
You know, what we would really, the message that I really want to send to the people of this community is we need mom and dads to get involved with our children, and we need mom and dads involved in this school. And we need moms and dads to know where their children are and who they're with. And if I promise you, if you'll do your job, we'll do ours, and we'll all come out of this so much better.
That's right.
And if you don't mind, Pastor John, I'm going to put my mentor here on the spot for a minute, because it's that time of year, and there's a rumor been floating around that he's going to seek re-election for the sheriff's position here in Douglas County, and I wondered if the sheriff would be willing to share any information with me on that tonight.
Well, I don't want to get political, but I'm going to run for sheriff again. I was born and raised in this community. I love it with all my heart, and I want to do everything in my power to keep it safe, and I have 40 years of experience, if that matters. So,
well,
thank you for asking.
I tell you what, I can tell you he's made a difference to me, because being a young chief of an agency the size that I am and in control now as much as I'm in control of, he's always one call away from me. And I don't care if it's the middle of the night or first thing in the morning, he answers that phone every time I call. I've gotten a couple of tight spots where I needed a little advice in situations that he could mentor me on, and I really appreciate the relationship I've got with the county sheriff. And I don't mind going on public here and saying that hasn't always been that way. But we're in this fight together, and we're in it to win it. You know, we're here because we love Douglas County, and this is where we want to be and where we both plan on staying.
Well, you two guys help me sleep a whole lot better at night. I feel a whole lot safer when my two teenage boys get out there in the community, and I'm glad that you decided to run for re-election. That'd be great to have you back in office.
Thank you.
And Chief, you keep doing a great work. Sheriff, you keep doing a great work. If there's anything I can help you with in any way,
Thank you, Sheriff.
Please call on me. Thank you
Yes,
again.
sir. Thank you, Pastor John.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Joining me now is Sergeant Tracy Sullivan with the Douglas County Sheriff Department. Tracy, I want to thank you so much You did all the shopping for this back-to-school event. Tonight's event is COP, Community of Peace. And working with your department and the entire sheriff department, we want to give back to the community in conjunction with the open house program. The question I have to ask you, Tracy, how fun was it shopping for that much school supplies?
Well, first of all, I'm a woman, so shopping's number one on the list. Second of all, it was not my money. So, yes, it was lots of fun. I've got a 13-year-old, so I got to relive some of the buying of the crayons when she was little and buying all the stuff. It was a little overwhelming. That money went a long ways to buy a lot of supplies, so I had a lot of fun yesterday.
Well, tell me a little about what do you do with the sheriff department. A little bit about your department, how your department functions in the sheriff department.
I'm the public relations officer for the sheriff's office. I also teach BLAST, which is a program that teaches drug resistance in the elementary school.
Really?
So I'm in schools with fifth graders every day, and I also do the neighborhood watch programs and community programs that the sheriff's department does throughout Douglas County.
So you spread pretty thin. Pretty much.
Wear many hats. I wear many hats. Yes, I do. But I was very honored. I'm proud of my sheriff that he supports this program. He has children and a grandson that he adores, so kids are number one on his list. So I was honored to be able to do this.
Well, today's program is all about giving back.
Right.
Talking to Dr. Pritz and Connie Kraft, which is a new principal here at New Manchester, we was trying to find a way to give back while open house takes place.
Right.
So we contacted Sheriff Miller, we contacted Chief Womack, and both was totally on board. Now, I understand you had help shopping yesterday.
I did. Chief Womack showed up, and we hit the aisles pretty good at Walmart. I think he had more fun than I did.
Really?
4 buggies full, I believe, is what we ended up with. Yeah, he had a really good time.
Well, see, that's part of the Give Back program, the COP program. What we're trying to do, Tracy, is basically make law enforcement and student population friendly. We're trying to bridge the gap between law enforcement and the student population because a lot of times students think that the law enforcement is the enemy.
Right.
Well, we're saying that we're not the enemy.
That's the reason our BLAST program is so important because we play on the playground with them. We eat lunch with them. We're hands-on with them from kindergarten through 5th grade. So I think that helps as well because sometimes it's tough going into school and being labeled, here comes the cops, and they're all scared of us. So it's nice to be able to give them something, put a smile on their face.
Well, you said the word COP. COP, Community of Peace. We want to make sure that tonight you understand that everything that's being done here is about giving back to the community, letting the community know that police, whether it be the sheriff department, whether it be the police department, we are your friends. I am Pastor John Citizen. I will be the campus pastor here at New Manchester, and I want to work directly with the sheriff department to make sure that we understand it takes a village to raise a child. And working with our local law enforcement, we want to make sure that everybody come out and participate in our school system but feel safe while they're doing so.
Exactly.
You have anything you'd like to add to your programs, or how can we contact you at the Sheriff Department if we want to contact you about the BLAST program or any other program that's offered?
Anytime somebody wants to donate supplies throughout the school year, teachers spend a lot of their own money to help a lot of kids. So anytime throughout the school year, if they want to buy supplies or help in any way, they can contact me through the Douglas County Sheriff's Office. I'm the only Sergeant Sullivan up there.
Right.
They can get all my information. They can drop it off at the Gamble building. They can be anonymous if they want to. We have donations of supplies and money that's dropped off throughout the year. So anything like that is welcomed, and a child benefits from it.
Well, in just a few minutes, we're going to join you outside. We're going to see what's going on outside in the parking lot, how these supplies are being distributed, because you brought a van load of supplies.
A van load, and they're already showing up a little early in the 100-degree weather, so a lot of people are needing this time of year.
Yes. So thank you so much for joining us. Thank you so much for participating and being a part of this event. I just want to say thank you so much.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Tonight, I want to thank Sheriff Miller and Sergeant Sullivan for being with us tonight at our COP program, Community of Peace. It's being sponsored by Sheriff Phil Miller and the Sheriff Department and Chief Chris Womack of the City Police Department, where we'll talk to later. But right now, I want to talk to you, Sheriff, and I want to first thank you for helping us raise the money to put together such an event to give away free school supplies to the community. But I want to ask you, what is your role in getting the relationship between law enforcement and the student population bridged together?
Well, sometimes that's tough to do, John, but we're working very hard trying to do that. One of the reasons we're down here at New Manchester today is to make sure that the kids and the parents know that we're here for them. We're not their enemy, we're their friends. And by giving away the school supplies, it gave us an opportunity to meet some of these people and interact with them. And as school goes on this year, we'll have school resource officers down here, and we'll be down here, and we'll be getting to know the staff and the faculty and the students, and hopefully we'll build the kind of relationship that we want to build in this community as far as our schools are concerned.
Well, what we're trying to do tonight is this program COP, Community of Peace, and working with—
Couldn't have said it better.
Working with Sergeant Sullivan and her department, and I know there's other departments in the Sheriff Department that offers free services to the community. Can we expound a little bit? Maybe this is a question for Sergeant Sullivan, some of the departments that y'all have offered programs to the community.
Well, we have a lot of programs. The program that I'm hands-on with is our BLAST program, which is our drug education program that we teach in the school system. And we have many programs. Our Citizens Law Enforcement Academy. We have our CARE program, which is our driver's ed program. We have our firearms program, all of which are free and offered to the citizens of Douglas County. We have an Explorer program for young people that are interested in getting in law enforcement, possibly. We've hired numerous explorers after they've graduated high school. They've stayed with us, so it's really paid off, I believe. Have I missed some programs?
No, you probably did, but the Explorer program is a great program, and it teaches kids how to get involved in law enforcement and what law enforcement is all about, and it gives them an opportunity to see if that's something they want to be involved in. They do actual felony stops and search warrants and all kinds of things that law enforcement does every day, and they compete against this department competes against departments all throughout the Southeast, and it's a very beneficial program, and they learn a lot about law enforcement. But it's for kids 14 and over, and anybody that's interested in any of these programs should call the Douglas County Sheriff's Office. If it's a training program such as the defensive tactics or the gun clinics or Citizens Law Enforcement Academy, you should call the training division at the Douglas County Sheriff's Office, and we'll help you in any way that we can.
Tell me a little bit about what Sergeant Horn does with that Explorer program. I like that program because it's more student-based. It's not just for the general public, but it's specifically for students. Now, I understand Sergeant Elmer Horn heads that department.
Dale Kelly, Investigator Kelly, also helps out with the program. They put a lot of hours. They meet so many times during the month. They go to Tennessee and other areas and compete with other departments. It's just it's a phenomenal program, and it again puts that relationship with the kids with the Sheriff's Office, because they go back and talk to their friends about what they're learning from the Sheriff's Office.
I see you also have the big driver simulator parked out here tonight.
We do. You know, one of the things that's very important to us and the parents in this community is making sure that our kids know how to drive when we hand them the keys when they turn 16 years old. And we started this driver's education program when I became sheriff in 2001, and we've had hundreds of people go through that class. And because of that, and because of our excessive traffic enforcement, you know, we've saved a few lives, I believe. I know yes. The statistics say that there's less kids dying in Douglas County than there was a few years ago. So that's kind of heartwarming, and you know, that's where we want to go with this thing. But the driver's education program, it's 11-week program. Kids come to class, and the parents come to class initially, and then the parents teach the kids how to drive, and we teach the parents how to teach the kids how to drive. But in addition to that, we have the driving simulator when we're teaching areas that are too dangerous to teach on the road. We use the driving simulator to do that. We also have a skid car that causes a vehicle to lose traction in different areas, and we teach kids how to recover, and actually not really recover, but not ever get into a situation that would cause a skid. But it's a wonderful program. Many kids have accidents when they run off of the road, and they overcompensate trying to get back on the road, and they wind up having bad accidents. And you know, when you get through with this program, they'll know more than you do in that regard. And it's a wonderful program, and I believe it's saving lives, and we're going to continue to do it as long as I'm sheriff.
Well, don't go anywhere. We have our special other sponsor, which is Chief Chris Womack. I'd like to have you and Chris come together, Chief Womack come together and share from a law enforcement perspective, if I can get the words out, but I want you to just hang around. Sergeant Sullivan, thank you so much for all your contributions and help with this program tonight. We really appreciate you.
My pleasure.
Thanks, buddy.
Thanks.
Well, you know, we're excited to be part of this event, the Community of Peace.
Yes, COP.
COP. And that it's pretty significant that you've invited the law enforcement teams of the county and the city to come out and be part of that. But thank you for inviting City TV to be part of it too, and taking the opportunity to make sure that this event is covered beyond just it happening here today. And you know, Pastor John, I guess you're going to be, you've claimed it, and I think it's established, but the student pastor here on campus,
Yes.
the campus pastor. So that's you're showing another joint partnership here between the school board and the community. Tell us kind of how that got started, and then we'll introduce Dr. Pritz, our superintendent.
Well, it started about 15 years ago working with Stewart Middle School. Then I became the campus pastor at Douglas County High School, working with Ms. Connie Kraft at Douglas County for the past 4 years, taking on this new responsibility. She asked if I would be able to help organize student ministries here at New Manchester, and then eventually we can hand it off to a more person that can handle it better than I can, because I'm just here to help wherever I can help. So I'm just privileged to partner with the school system. Dr. Pritz, it's great to have you with us.
Thank you.
In this program, COP, Community of Peace. Just kind of share with us from your perspective as the school superintendent, things you expect from New Manchester and from the county as a whole.
Well, we're first of all, we're extremely excited about opening up a new high school, our 5th high school in Douglas County. New Manchester is a beautiful school, and we are very fortunate that the taxpayers saw fit to provide for it, and we think it's going to be a great setting for our kids. So we're really excited about that. Anytime you're opening up a new school, it's a big event, but when it's a high school, it just magnifies even more.
It's
So
a big deal.
it is, and we're excited about it. The kids have already been involved and working hard through extracurricular activities like football and cross country, volleyball and cheerleading for the fall sports. And then, as you mentioned, the student ministry program, and we have a Fellowship of Christian Athletes program here like we do at all our high schools. And of course, we appreciate Pastor John's involvement in that in the past and going forward here at New Manchester. So it's going to be a great school year, and we just look for ways to involve kids outside of just studying all the time, and that's so important. And Fellowship of Christian Athletes is one of those ways to do that.
With law enforcement, how do you see the student resource officer playing a role on your campuses throughout Douglas County? I believe it's a significant role to have law enforcement on each campus. And do you feel that it's going to add to the level of safety on each campus?
Well, we believe firmly that partnerships and collaboration with community is very important. And our partnership with law enforcement in our district is just one of those ways that we foster that community relationship piece. And we have been very fortunate with both the Sheriff's Department under Sheriff Miller and the Douglasville Police Department under Chief Womack to have a great partnership over the years. And the school resource officers that we have at our high schools and our middle schools are an integral part of the school and part of the faculty, and just get to know kids on a personal basis. And that's really important, that kids see our police officers on a personal basis, and they know that they're there to help them and that they're there to be for them when times are difficult. And certainly we want to foster a setting of safety and where kids feel safe coming to school. We want this to be, you know, probably their safest part of their day.
That's right.
And so the police help us with that. The resource officers are key to that. And of course our teachers and faculty are very important in setting a tone for a safe school environment. Very important to us.
It's important to me as a parent.
Certainly.
And you know, great transition there, I guess, for parents. That's another thing that's going to be key in making a school like this and the school systems throughout the county very successful, is the involvement of the parents. Can you touch on that, how the parents can be, you know, involved here locally?
Very, very, very important. You know, we can cite a lot of research, but one of the constants that you find in research is that parent involvement is the key to their student success. We don't advocate that we can do it all by ourselves, and I think most parents would tell you they can't do it all by themselves. So it's really a partnership. It's very important for us to work closely together. We want to foster a culture of trust, where the parents trust us and we trust the parent at their end, that they're doing their job and we're doing ours. And we want to work together, because You know, the teenagers got us outnumbered, and
Yes,
so
they do.
we've got to
Yes,
partner
they
up
do.
and work together, or else it becomes very difficult to raise kids that we know are going to be productive citizens in the future.
And one thing that I've kind of been privy of knowing is this new school and facility here is introducing a bring your own technology. And
We're excited about that. Yeah, that's going to be a new for us. It's not a new concept out there in the world of education. There are other schools and school systems doing that. But one of the things that we felt was a great opportunity for us here was the idea that you know, kids have their technology for the most part, and so we want to take that and use it in an instructional sense so that kids are, if they're going to have it, we're going to use it in a way that helps foster instruction. So Ms. Kraft and her staff are poised and ready to you know, kind of embrace the technology and encourage kids that you know, we can use cell phones and iPads and iPods and netbooks and those kind of things to enhance instruction. So that's how it's going to be used. It's not there to play games, and it's not there to text message friends, even though we know that goes on.
Might
It's
slide
there,
by.
and we're going to do our very best to keep kids focused. And there's always been distractions in school, even before the days of technology. So it's just another change in a way of thinking, and we want to embrace that and use what kids are used to.
Very good.
As a quick question in closing, what are some of your personal, I guess we'd call pet projects that you are seeing to make sure that it's implemented properly, things as you coming in as our superintendent, your vision for this Douglas County school system? Is there anything that you'd like to share from your desk that's very important to you?
Well, you know, one of the things that I tried to do this past year, my first year in Douglas County, was get to know the community and get to know the culture of the school system. That was very important for me to have an understanding of what was in place already and get to know people and get to know the different school settings. And so I made it a point to do a lot of visiting and was out in I was out in the schools every week. Visited every school at least 6 times during the year formally, and was in schools much more than that informally. But I saw people who had a passion for working with kids and helping kids, and that was throughout the school district. And so when you have that foundation in place, then it makes it, to me, makes it a little bit easier to just carry that to the next level. And one of the things that I've talked about our principals with in the early days of this new school year is that I think the foundational necessities are in place in Douglas County in our school system to not have a good school system, but to have a great school system.
I like that.
And so I've always been about being the very best at whatever I do, and that's kind of how I've patterned my own personal life and my own career. And so I take this with no less level of excellence than I have in anything else I've done. And it's my job to try to move this school district to the next level of excellence and make it a model school district. And we've kind of taken on and embraced this idea of being a leader in education, but at the same time we're always learning how to get better. So we've taken on the theme this year of leading and learning Douglas County schools, and that's what we want to be about. We want to be the leaders, but we want to be learning all the time, because when you stop learning, you stop getting better. So we're excited about that, and I'm excited to be just a small part of it.
Well, I want to personally thank you for allowing me to be a part of this system and serving with you guys. I'm at your disposal in any way that I can help bring resources into the school system. But again, thank you for your leadership, and I'm looking forward to working with you. And thank you, Kelly, with City TV, and working with you guys and the school system all together. I think we're going to have a great partnership.
We're excited. New
think
school
so.
year is always exciting.
Exactly.
Thank you, Dr. Pritz.
Thank you. Thank you, Pastor John. Thank you, Kelly.
Much
Appreciate
success.
it. Thank you.
We're here with Deputy Chief Gary Sparks from the City of Douglasville Police Department, and I want to thank you, Deputy Chief Sparks, for being with us tonight. COP, Community of Peace.
Okay.
And you all about that, because I see you all over the place working with different students, working with different school districts to make sure, well, within the school district, to make sure that law enforcement is always present from a city standpoint. Won't you share with me, because Chief mentioned earlier in a previous interview that you head up different programs within the city police department that you're specifically responsible for, and some of your department leaders are responsible for. Tell me a little bit about some of the programs you head up.
About 4 years ago, we started a program that we call Youth Against Violence. We wanted to express to the community that the youth in our community were against violence acts of criminal behavior. So what we did, we started a program, a year-round program that aimed at teaching our youth life skills and teaching them the law. And by teaching them the law and life skills, we hope in turn that our young people will make better decisions and choices while they're out there in the streets with their friends. So we hope that we are decreasing the amount of young people coming in contact with the police in a negative way. And we at the Douglasville Police Department, along with the Sheriff's Department, we're the ones that promoting this program, and we're backing this program up with funds we take from drug dealers.
Really?
Yeah, so all your drug dealers, the Sheriff's Department and the Chief Miller and the Chief Womack, really thank you, because we take that money and we train our young people how to be better and productive citizens.
Well, as a pastor, I would take that and say God will help the wealth of the wicked to bless the righteous.
There you go.
So basically, you're taking all these people who's doing illegal acts and turning that around to be a blessing to our young people.
Yes.
Now, I've been fortunate to meet some of your graduates from the Youth Against Violence, and I'll be honest with you, from a personal standpoint, I've heard great remarks about your program. I heard you're a little tough now.
Yeah, we have tough love.
When you deal with Deputy Chief Sparks, he been known to lay hands on you.
Yeah, well, sometimes you need a little hands laid on. But, you know, because some hands not being laid on them at home. And
I understand.
And another part of this program is the parent. We have parent classes at this doing the Youth Against Violence program. So to help the parents is let the parents know what we at the police department and what at the sheriff department, what we can do and what resources we can advise them of where they can get help.
Now, when is these programs being held?
We hold them every Saturday from 10 to 2 at the police department, 2083 Fairman Road in our community center. So there are 4 hours each Saturday, and we also have, as I stated, the parent class where we trying to reach the entire family. That's awesome. What we trying to do, awesome. To build love and give that information to the entire family in hopes that our community will be a lot safer. And so this is one program, like I said, is the Sheriff's Department and the Police Department that we're teaming up again.
Well, let me say this. Any parent that may have an unruly teen or someone that may be outside what you feel is safe in the home and you need some help, you may have be a single parent without a husband in the home, or maybe a single father that needs help. Well, here Deputy Chief Spark is telling you that there is a program available to help you find creative ways to bring that young person into a position of authority. Am I covering that correctly?
Oh, that's correct. And we have other programs as well. We have the Citizen Police Academy, which older people, I won't say older because, you know, we, let's just say adults. So,
much more mature.
Much more mature adults can come and, you know, get an idea of what the police department is all about, you know, as well as we work with the Boys and Girls Clubs. And we work with the Special Olympics. We just had the Special Olympics torch run in here.
Really? That's
Douglasville Police Department is we on board to help in that area as well. So we try to help and assist in the community in a lot of different ways, but only other than just
locking them up.
Other than locking them up, you know, we try to get out there and we enforce. We like to have our officers to be a part of the community, to go out and coach. We have officers that coach in some of the little leagues in the area.
But what I'm hearing from you is prevention.
Prevention.
And I hear from you mentoring, big brother programs. You really stepping up and saying, look, we're not just here to lock you up. We're here to prevent you from being in that position to be locked up. So Deputy Chief Sparks, I want to thank you from a parent standpoint,
yes,
from for your leadership, working with Chief Womack taking your deputies and your officers out there and doing what you do best, and that's making sure that we have a safe community. So again, thank you.
Thank you for having me.
I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Hey, before we cut, I'm going to step in here with these two guys because I just want to say, you know, a lot of times it ends up, you're seeing Chris Womack's name in the paper, Chris Womack's face in the paper, whatever. But I'm telling you right now, if it wasn't for my big brother right here, he takes care of business so I can get out and do the politicking for the police department. And I am so blessed. Douglasville is so blessed to have this man right here, shoulder to shoulder with me, fighting crime every day and taking care of business at the police department. And watching out for everybody. So Deputy Chief, I appreciate you.
This my brother right here.
And citizens, I want y'all to hear and see what we're talking about. COP, Community of Peace. It do take a village to raise a child. Working with the City Police Department, Chief Chris Womack, Deputy Chief Gary Sparks, and partnering with Sheriff Phil Miller and the school system, I believe we all can make a difference and we'll have a safer community. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
We're here with Ms. Connie Craft, principal here at New Manchester High School, and because of her vision and her involvement with student population, working with FCA, I just want to thank you tonight for allowing me to come and work with you on this campus with the students. But tonight it's all about COP, Community of Peace, giving away free school supplies, partnering with the Sheriff Department and the City Police Department. I just want to thank you, Ms. Craft, for allowing us on your campus. But if you had anything you'd like to add about what New Manchester is, what it means, and what you see. I know it's a lot. Just kind of give us a quick synopsis of what you see this beginning of this new school year is for you as the new principal.
Well, we're delighted that you brought the COP program to our parking lot so that it sends a message to our students that we want to be part of the community. We want to help and share, and we want to instill those character traits in our New Manchester students. And it's just a great opportunity for them to have a first exposure to what's taking place. And I want to thank you and all of the law enforcement officials, the city officials who've made all of this happen. I've had many parents ask if that was going to be available, so there is a great need and you're helping to fill that need.
Well, we want to make sure that the school supplies were available as you have your open house program. And I can see it's been a successful open house program.
Yes.
But we want to give added little incentive when you come to open house. Come by the stadium parking lot, pick up some school supplies. But again, if you can put one little thing that you saw as you walked around and visit with the parents, what do you feel this new year would be like for you? How it's shaping up, I guess.
As I've watched the parents come through the door, I've seen a lot of just awe and amazement. The school is very large.
Yes,
and the parents and the students are very overwhelmed by just the sheer size. But I sense the excitement. The parents and the students alike are very excited about this new opportunity. The kids are happy. They're happy, they're animated, they're happy to see each other, they're happy to be in a new place, and I'm looking forward to harnessing all that happiness into some really positive activities with our students.
How many students you will be starting this new school year off with about?
We anticipate around 1,300 when we open the doors on Thursday.
And what's going to be your maximum capacity once?
Well, we're actually built for 2,000, but I'm sure that if we grew enough in the county, we could hold a few more.
So you actually started off with 1,300
right.
new students in this brand new.
Yes.
Now I understand that this school is technology friendly,
yes.
eco-friendly.
Yes.
You want to share a little bit about that?
Yes, we want to be a bring your own technology, 21st century technology school, all of the above. But we've got a lot of wonderful advantages with technology for our students, Promethean boards, student response devices, laptop computers, LCD projectors, just an array of opportunities for those students to use technology as they go through their instructional process. And we just want to use it all, make it all part of what happens to them when they leave us and become citizens of the world in a world that's going to be filled with technology.
Well, I can see this as a new creative way of teaching.
Yes.
And that creativity will transcend into a better student.
Yes, it will.
Now, this eco-friendly school, I understand you have.
All right.
Bit about that.
Well, we've got the wonderful sensors that turn off lights when there's nobody in motion, and I mean a body. If you're not moving around, the lights go off, which does conserve, which is wonderful, but it's funny when you're sitting at your desk and there's no movement and your lights go off.
So every now and then you have to wave your hand.
We're working for that, but we do have a lot of features like that help us be more conservative.
Well, again, I'm just privileged to partner with you. I've had the privilege of working with you at Douglas County High School. And again, thank you for allowing me to come over to work with you and your staff to create the FCA ministry here on campus. Again, I just want to make sure that you understand that you're not by yourself. At the end of the day, when you feel that everybody's against you, you're not. You do have some support system around you. And I saw you brought some of your staff with you from D.C. and from around the county.
Yes.
So I'm looking forward to this like you are. It's a brand new adventure. Is there anything you see that parents can do to help you as you come in and lead this new school?
Well, I will say that we've already had a large parent interest level growing. Our PTSA is doing a tremendous job recruiting parent support. They've already been active in helping the teachers during their pre-planning and the retreats that we did to try to organize the faculty. PTA cooked dinner for us last Friday night.
Really? That was nice. That was generous.
Very supportive, very wonderful, and I'd like to see all of our parents feel welcome and become a part of this school. It takes all of us working together to make these students successful.
Well, let me say again, you're not alone. Thank you for allowing us to come on your campus tonight. Chief Chris Womack, Sheriff Phil Miller, they didn't get a chance to meet with you because you was busy across this large school. But again, thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's good to be partnering with you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Well, Pastor John, I think this has been a great event.
It's been awesome.
Community of Peace that you've put together here for the Back to School program and kickoff for the brand new high school, New Manchester High School. We've got a lot of activity happening in the background. People still here taking advantage of the open house. But you know, to make an event like this happen, it takes a lot of people behind the scenes.
Yes, it did.
We had a lot of interviews today from our sheriff to our police chief to our school superintendent to the high school principal, and in between all of those resources that are here making it happen today. But there's other people who helped sponsor this, that when you went out and knocked on the door and said, hey, we need to put this program together, we need to connect our community with our law enforcement and make this a grand event, they said yes. Who were some of those people?
Well, let me say this. First, thank you to City TV, Kelly, for being out here making this production possible. And I want to thank Greystone Power and my friend Ed Cahill, who was generously able to give a wonderful donation to make this event happen. Chick-fil-A at the mall. Please stop by the mall, eat at Chick-fil-A. Was a wonderful sponsor. I love Chick-fil-A myself. Also, we had our main sponsor was Chief Chris Womack and the City of Douglasville Police Department and the entire city staff. I want to thank the entire city staff and also Sheriff Phil Miller. Sheriff Phil Miller partnered with Chief Womack. They made sure I got the resources available to buy all the school supplies. I want to thank Sergeant Sullivan. You saw her in the early interview.
Yes.
Tracy Sullivan, she and Chief Womack actually shopped at Walmart.
I bet that was a trip watching them.
Can you imagine them spending $1,000+? And again, I also went to Schoolbox. Schoolbox gave me a 30% discount on all the supplies that we bought there. Because just sponsors like that made this event possible. COP, Community of Peace, making sure that everyone that came to open house had an opportunity to get some type of school supplies to help offset the cost per family.
And that's
so
great.
Again, it's just been a wonderful event. I've been excited. I can't wait to implement the student ministries here on campus. And again, thank you, Kelly, for all your support. And please say my thanks to Mayor Mickey Thompson and City Manager Bill Osborne, who is a great friend of mine. I wouldn't say that publicly, but I'll say it again. Bill Osborne is a great friend of mine.
Well, and I know that they were proud to be part of this and help put the support behind this. One thing that I know that you won't have to do, judging by all of the B-roll that we got and the activity happening out there, you're not going to have to pack up any school supplies and take home, are you?
They're all gone.
They're gone.
Yes.
So I think that's a success for the event tonight.
Yes, and thank you for helping make this a successful event.
All righty.
Thank every one of you.